gentlemen, today we are shooting this the day the Avengers Doomsday trailer came out. So, you know, we're just a little bit out of it, but this is technically kind of their first Avengers movie, really.
Kind of the perfect thing to watch the day that just happened.
Definitely,
It's Phase 3's kickoff.
Yeah, I know they did Captain America and Winter Soldier first, but this is really like an Avengers movie.
Did you notice the Winter Soldier suit on Captain America, Anthony Mackie?
Of course not.
I got you.
I was way too
Watch
sleepy.
my breakdown. I went frame by frame like Greg does. He inspired me, and I am exhausted.
Yeah.
But I don't have the text, so I just took 112 screenshots.
Dude, it was amazing, man. You did a great job.
Hey,
you got
thanks.
You got an interview with Destin Daniel Crennan up.
Yeah, big day on my page.
And I reread Civil War over the weekend.
Oh, fuck yeah. Look at you doing comics and me doing YouTube.
That's what we're talking about, baby.
We've Freaky Friday'd.
And all it taught me was this movie's
won't be
nothing
that like that. Wait a second, Jameson's not even in this movie.
Let's do it.
I have good news for you, Greg.
What?
Good news before we start.
What?
Pushed my honeymoon, not till next year. I'm going in October so I can do Wolverine. That's part of why. But I was literally going to leave on the 13th, and I was like, well, it would fuck up DC, Greg, and my birthday. I can do it in October, and I can help out, so I'm going to do a honeymoon in October. You weren't the reason. I'm just letting you know. Fucking, I'm here.
What about Clayface?
I hope I get to see it early. But I know how big you want the gaming channel to grow. I'm on fucking 9 hours a week. So yeah, just let me know. I'm doing it in October. I'll give Alex a date. It's working, gang.
1991.
I was 3, you were 1.
Oh, yes, right, son. I was 1 in the bun in the 90s.
That's right. That's right.
Fun fact, Bucky has nothing to do with the Civil War comics.
Nothing at all. In fact, he wasn't really relevant or prevalent in the Marvel comics that much in that era.
Same thing with Zemo.
Dude, the internet is so mad at me when I miss anything in comics. I'm scared to talk, but now I want to go the other way so they correct me because it helps growth. So I'm going to just say shit. Yeah, Zemo's like a 90s Thunderbolts character, and then he's not in Thunderbolts.
I do love that shot, though.
He looks so good. Oh, the movie is so separate from the comics. This is my go-to example of why to keep them separate, because of this. You couldn't have done the comic in movie.
Bitch.
I want to do an interview with Sebastian Stan and say these words.
And see if he activates.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
I support this goal.
Go kill Robert Downey Jr. now.
Doomsday.
Red Ledger. Evil.
He's got red in his ledger, and it is his ledger.
I do love the sadness of this movie. I love seeing evil Winter Soldier.
I'm really curious how I end up landing, where this one lands, because I remember thinking it's amongst the best of any comic book movie.
I believe this is my 3rd time ever watching this.
Wow.
I saw it in the theaters, and then I showed it to John when it came out on DVD.
I'm shocked every time you tell me the number of times. I feel like I've just spent so much time.
Отлично, солдат.
Well done, Winter Soldier.
I'm curious that you're having almost a first-time reaction with 10 years of difference, and I'm having rewatched them, curious how my Phase 4 and 5 are going to be reshaped by watching them so close. Like, I've seen them more than you, but I've never watched them this stacked. So that's an interesting Phase 5 feeling.
I feel like because we've been doing this, I was excited for the Doomsday trailer more than a lot of other people.
You're welcome, Disney.
Lagos. Oh, this was the start of the giant text.
And other movies took it
other
too.
movies were like, just put it big on screen.
It's exciting. We immediately get a very different Scarlet Witch than we left her with.
Standard beat cops.
There's an ATM on the south corner, which means...
Cameras.
It is cool. They are sequelizing Age of Ultron at this moment.
How so?
Well, because like they're actually carrying on with Wanda. And this is him training her to be an Avenger here, and Falcon.
Which means private security, which means more guns, which means more headaches for somebody, probably.
That reveal's so solid.
Now I can move things with my mind, right?
Looking over your shoulder needs to become second nature.
Ooh, thematic.
You're a little paranoid.
Not to my face. Why?
If he sees us coming, that won't be a problem. He kinda hates...
What? You didn't see that coming.
See that garbage truck? Tag it.
It's a really good first act because it feels espionage. It does tie into the tone we got with Winter Soldier, but it catches us back up to how much we love them. But it feels slightly different enough, like especially for Age of Ultron, but it really works.
It's a Captain America's movie. It's an Avengers movie with a Captain America tone.
Yeah. But it still knows to focus on its Winter Soldier is because of Cap. It's Steve Rogers. Like it's.
I know this guy's Chris J. Alex. I didn't know him when I watched this movie, though. Oh my God, I know him.
Good for him. Oh, what a stunt.
Practical
Thing of
stunts.
beauty. I think my buddy Damien's in this scene, if I remember correctly, who played Thanos.
Oh. This is the crossbones I always wanted.
Just a
They did him
big
justice.
mech suit thing of tactical confusion.
Those guns always remind me of Terminator 2. Damn, still so awesome.
Yeah. The practical shield into special effects, then back. Cool. Very improved Falcon physicality.
And Falcon can kill.
Stand.
4.
Solid teamwork, man.
Rumlow's on the 3rd floor.
Took the time to justify this specific unit.
Yes.
Get it out.
And I like how it's a training session, too.
Yeah. Oh, sick.
Even the way the door goes flying. Perfect.
Pack it up.
Oh, man. I feel like this is going to go pretty high up by the time we're done. I'm not real good right now.
When in doubt, rocket launch.
I like that they're all the street level, and then Scarlet Witch is doing training, so it keeps it smaller.
She's also doing resistance training. Do the classic. Oh, she doesn't do the classic on this scene.
That's later.
I don't work like that, no. Fire in the hole.
Oh, that's brutal. Wow, they really know how to make shit look real.
The weight in that, so good.
Crossbones looks like if Punisher had a villain and they were like, he's bigger Punisher.
Damien! Yeah, we want to be more punishing. That's punishment.
I've got 4. They're splitting up.
I do like how they're throwing us into the perspective of being heroes when we know, okay, but this is all going to lead to being framed as, look at the destruction.
Yeah,
Because-
the
but-
Sokovia Accords come from this, but we know
But when you're
what
first
they dealt-
watching it, it doesn't register that way.
It's such a reveal. Oh.
There you are, you son of a bitch.
Who did second unit on this?
I have no idea. They skimped out on so many of Captain America's rogues gallery.
Yeah.
He doesn't have it. I'm empty.
Does he mean emotionally?
Cool.
That looked like a necessary flip. I like it.
Sometimes you didn't necessarily
I
flip.
like a flip that looks necessary. She's just so fast. Especially when they change the frame rate.
Yeah.
Legs.
There it is. There's the move. There's the one.
Oh, and the
Take
way
it out,
she
two?
she alley-ooped. This is a hero.
He'll do it.
Nice.
Cool.
I don't even know what she just did there.
She shot faster than gravity.
Red Wing.
I'm still not thinking it.
He's cute. Go ahead, bet him.
But she like flipped. What? I don't understand.
In the comic, that's a real bird sometimes he talks to named Red Wing. Because comics in the 60s and 70s were different.
This is for dropping a building on my face.
Your arch nemesis should really be Falcon in this moment.
Yeah, he dropped a building on her face.
Falcon was the one you were fighting.
But it was in a Captain America movie, and he knows this.
That's gross.
I was there. He got all weepy about it. He wanted you to know something. He said to me, "You're coming with me."
Oh, awesome. Great reveal. It's a fascinating justification because all these people would have died
Right,
if
but
it wasn't for her.
people just see that people did die.
And you can see why she still feels bad because she couldn't prevent it. But 'cause in some
They
way,
should have done better.
in some way, she saved these people by sacrificing those people.
Yeah.
Wake up, dear, and say goodbye to your father.
This de-aging was crazy.
Try not to burn the house down before Monday.
Okay, so it's Monday. That is good to know. I will plan my toga party accordingly.
It's interesting to see him play young him.
Well, they had all the footage to work off it to actually pull this off.
But his performance, too. Like, I've seen this Downey in movies.
He does miss you when you're not here. You're going to miss us. You know what's about to happen.
His parents back then spoke in a very expositional way.
You know, they're just letting us know, letting him know.
No, I understand. It's the technology.
Yeah, this wasn't a memory. It's an augmented experience.
Binarily augmented retroframing, or BARF, extremely costly method of hijacking the hippocampus.
Like Xavier, the danger room.
It doesn't change the fact that they never made it to the airport or all the things I did to avoid processing.
I don't recall how this technology comes into play.
In the movie or in Mysterio?
No one.
Oh, yes, that's right. That's how it comes back. In the movie itself, I was like, did they just do this so we could see the memory?
I think they wanted us to feel connected to his parents before they kill him.
Yeah.
And then they used it again.
Every student has been made an equal recipient of the inaugural September Foundation grant. All of your projects have just been approved and funded. We save the future, starting now.
Great use of setting that up, and then why we had a teleprompter.
The silence tells us so much.
Go break some eggs.
Great way to have the presence of her through the film by opening his first scene with that.
And the stage was smooth. There's a presentation on the camera, and then when it cuts to here, we go handheld for the reality breaking of his state.
So sorry about the teleprompter. I didn't know Miss Potts had canceled. They didn't have time to...
Oh, he's so triggered.
I'll be right back.
We'll catch up later.
So in the comic, there is a woman who comes to him about, like, my son dying, and that is a big motivating factor. Like, this movie does still...
Has beats.
Adapts it. It still fits it in. It's not like a graphic novel adaptation, but it definitely takes adaptation inspiration.
They say there's a correlation between generosity and guilt.
She was also on the Luke Cage show.
Very different character.
What a great tell. She was waiting for him.
His name was Charlie Spencer. You murdered him. Not that that matters in the least to you. You think you fight.
I love the flip. He just helped out all these students, all these children, and then that happens. Generosity and guilt correlation. This really is an Avengers audition movie because this is all taking following Age of Ultron.
Yeah. I will say, watching it this close together does show me how disparate Phase 4 and 5 felt, because I really thought they'd come together, and then when they didn't, I was like, And now watching when they did.
Yeah. Well, what's cool is you get these two Avengers movies that feel like a theme park ride, and then they managed to make an Avengers movie shortly after Age of Ultron, literally like just two movies later, but make a film and not a,
it's the opposite of Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
In so many ways.
I should have clapped that bomb vest long before we had to deal with it. All of a sudden, I was a 16-year-old kid again in Brooklyn.
That's how I feel when I hear Bucky too.
Brings you back.
A 16-year-old kid again in Brooklyn.
Gotta save as many people as we can. Sometimes it doesn't mean everybody. Next time, maybe nobody gets saved.
Liz, we talked about this.
Yes, but the door was open, so I assumed that Captain Rogers wished to know when Mr. Stark was.
And that reintroduction makes him feel human and not
Or trying to be human, like failing at,
showing him make a social mistake makes him feel human.
Yeah.
I had a heart attack.
William Hurt.
I dropped.
I mean, no. Yes, this one's William Hurt.
This one is correct. He's not Harrison Ford for a while.
I found something. 40 years in the Army never taught me perspective.
Them sitting on each other's sides is so great.
A great many people see you as heroes. There are some who would prefer the word vigilante. What would you call a group of U.S.-based who routinely ignore sovereign borders?
Oh, right there.
Yep.
Tony in this shadow in the back.
New York.
I love how he said, I have perspective now, but it sounds like a mislead. Like, I have a solution, perspective. I see things different. And then you get a new perspective. Good script, man.
Yeah,
Good script. These
Marcus
guys know how to write some
they should
shit.
write some comic book stuff. They also wrote Pain and Gain, which I rewatched recently.
Such a coy movie.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Man, William Hurt's creating a YouTube grift channel.
Need the louder thumbnail.
It's an arrangement the governments of the world can no longer tolerate.
He's so good at Thunderbolt
I
Ross.
think we have a solution.
It was so smart to rename the Sokovia Accords.
Well, they didn't have any domestic, like the Stanford, that happened in Connecticut and felt so different because of that.
They'll operate under the supervision of a United Nations panel.
But what's it called in the comic book?
Stanford Incident.
Stanford,
Yeah.
Or Registration Act or something?
Oh, that. Yeah. The incident that caused it is Stanford.
Tell me, Captain, do you know where Thor and Banner are right now?
Great exposition to write out Gwyneth Paltrow and them too. Like,
right
because you
now.
can't have them in this movie. They don't work in this setting.
But Vision does.
Enough.
3 days from now, the UN meets in Vienna to ratify.
He knows.
Talk it over.
Oh, what a great little, just there's so much in that one little exchange. I love Downey in this one because this is the most dramatic performance he gives out of them all.
Because his opening scene is so weighted in sorrow. Like the moment you see Downey, it's young him with tragedy and then adult him with tragedy.
Without him losing the spirit, though.
Mm-hmm.
Hello? Is this your car out front? I jumped the curb.
I think that shadow means he's a bad guy.
Smart introduction to get someone to get to the door. Daniel Bruhl is so good, and then they manipulate the character in a way that doesn't make any sense, but I still like it. He's one of those characters I just accept as not being the comic at all.
Kept your looks, Colonel. Congratulations.
What a horrible torture.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you? My name is Zemo. How did you find me? When S.H.I.E.L.D. fell, Black Widow released Hydra files to the public.
They do such a good job setting things up to have dominoes fall like this.
Mm-hmm. Even
the first Avengers movie ends with what'll happen when people separate, and now it's the consequences.
What do you want? Mission report. Go to hell. Hydra deserves its place on the ash heap, but I'd have to use this book and other bloodier methods to find what I need. Could only be dying for your pride.
You do feel right away that this is a personal mission for him. It's not like he's some person
It's
just
not,
executing
taking orders.
Yeah.
Man, that look. You also realize the stakes of Hydra by him, this one man.
And that conviction.
What a way to go. Oh.
Good stunt performer, dude. Very dangerous. Very
What
dangerous
an
stunt.
awful. Oof.
Congressional Medal of Honor, which is one more than you have. So let's say we agree to this.
Guys, I got like 200 more pages to go. Can you stop yelling?
I'm trying to read.
117, Sam, and you're just like, no, it's cool. We got
How
it.
long are you gonna play both sides?
I have.
My problem with War Machine, the whole series.
Stark announced himself as Iron Man. The number of known enhanced persons has grown exponentially.
Vision's logic, all these characters' arcs.
He's saying it's our fault?
I'm saying there may be a causality.
Fault and causality are different.
Invites challenge. Challenge incites conflict.
Speaking of
Armor
pattern,
pissing rounds, Batman Joker.
Breeds catastrophe.
conflict breeds catastrophe.
Oversight is not an idea that can be dismissed out of hand.
Boom.
Boom, deep
You're
shit.
being uncharacteristically non-hyperverbal.
Actually, I'm nursing an electromagnetic headache. Who's putting coffee grounds in the disposal? Am I running a bed and breakfast for biker gang?
Even the snark when it's sad is
First, I want to put a few miles on his soul before he parked it behind a desk. See the world. Maybe be of service.
It does do an excellent job of making you understand where he's coming from. Because even in the comic, I'm like, dude, Cap's right.
Yeah, they do such a better job when you have an actor to like really make the language work.
The writing also sells too.
Yeah, I think the writing in Civil War is actually a little stronger in the film.
They argue the points well, where the audience chooses. And then I like that thing you're saying, it's just pain, discomfort. It's like you can't understand the human pains that they're going through, Captain America, because you don't experience human pain.
And each of their arcs and where they land is so set up in the other films. The writing is immaculate.
Tony, you chose to do that. If we sign this, we surrender our right to choose. What if this panel sends us somewhere we don't think we should go? What if there's somewhere we need
Oh, yeah. And she just got her freedom.
And I love that because I was talking about with like how much of a, he's a cop and he's trying to have freedom. And all of this language is set up throughout.
Yeah.
Maybe Tony's right. We have made some very public mistakes. We need to win their trust back.
It's such a slippery slope, though.
Mishear you, or did you agree with me?
Oh, I want to take it back.
No,
now.
no, no, you can't retract it. Thank you. Impressive.
I have to go.
So interesting how the Captain America is the ultimate soldier poster boy.
And he's the one that most sees that people have agendas and that if you have enough people in a group, it's going to lead to someone trying to profit. I also love that Peggy is throughout the series the most important thing. He just left the most important meeting because that is priority.
Yeah, but if a trailer dropped, you'd have to prioritize that.
I mean, as we learned today.
I would like to invite Sharon Carter to come up and say a few words.
You mind your tongue, boy. You mind your tongue, boy.
Margaret Carter was known to most as a founder of S.H.I.E.L.D., but I just knew her as Aunt Peggy.
I'm going to look right at Steve when I say that.
Yeah.
That's right.
Kid, that was pretty cool, but it was a lot to live up to.
Look at that posture.
A time when no one wanted to see a woman succeed at either. But where you can't, don't.
I love when movies have scenes where exactly what the character needs to hear doesn't feel heavy-handed, but it's also hugely impactful language.
Even if the whole world is telling you to move, Look them in the eye and say no. You move.
Funny enough, she doesn't agree with the Sokovia Accords.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know.
She doesn't know the allegory she's given right now. But clearly
She just made him.
Yeah.
Who else signed?
Tony, Rhodey, Vision.
Wanda?
TBD. I'm off to Vienna for the signing of the Accords. There's plenty of room on the jet.
Luke Cage. Hank Pym.
Charlie.
Least resistance doesn't mean it's the wrong path.
What are we giving up to do it?
I truthfully overlooked Scarlett Johansson's performance in all these movies.
I was thinking earlier, her zingers are better than I remember, and her choreography is so consistent. And obviously the writing is great too, but so impressed.
But like the way her character has been letting her walls down slowly each movie has been actually really well executed, right down to this very scene of like, it's better that we're together, you know, like she's being soft and hopeful.
And just wanting to support him and then meaning it.
117
Japan
countries
IGN.
have come together to ratify the Sokovia Accords.
There he is.
Oh, my man.
First time.
Excuse me, Miss Romanoff. Please need your signature.
Man, this movie does so much and does it all right.
I wouldn't think you'd be particularly comfortable in this company.
I'm not.
And that alone makes me glad you are here, Ms. Romanoff.
Why, you don't approve of all this?
The Accords, yes. 2 people in a room can get more done than 100.
Unless you need to move the piano.
Please allow me to apologize for what happened in Nigeria.
Thank you.
I like the way they have they rewrote Black Panther for this movie. In the comic, he wants nothing to do with the involvement at first.
Wakanda is so removed, and that kind of leads into how we meet them in Black Panther separately.
Everyone should please be seated. Assembly is now in session.
That is the future calling.
Tony goes to recruit him. It is cool. The comics go. I hope they do a graphic novel adaptation one day. For
Like
man.
an animated?
Yeah.
That'd be cool. That was a great time in all of comics. Like Marvel Comics was killing it then. Man, I love that relationship. That really sets up how painful this is.
You have to do a lot with a little in these movies.
Because you got to move and move and move. There's 80 characters in this movie.
We will fight to improve the world we wish to join. Wakanda is proud. Everybody get down!
Oh.
And his leap
was so superhuman. And we just get a taste.
To one indicator.
Like cat-like. Oh.
Yeah, this movie really excels at having these big, like, large death scenes with a bunch of people, but they know where to. Well, we have to make the audience feel the personal loss for someone
And
here.
also, like, in half an hour, we've seen so much of it, and it keeps moving. It's such a well-paced film because you feel it, but it doesn't slow down.
CIA has a station over here now.
Berlin. Joint Terrorism Task Force.
Right.
Oh, that's them setting up the power broker.
She's clearly gonna be.
I've been meaning to ask you when you were spying on me from across the hall.
You mean when I was doing my job?
It's because of America's ass.
Did Peggy know?
She kept so many secrets. I didn't want her to have one from you.
Oh.
Plus, she probably wouldn't let me hook up with you.
It would have been weird because, you know, family.
Sure. Something you gotta see.
He just really
Again,
likes
the
it.
moment of emotion and then action, and it doesn't feel like it's cutting either up.
This is one of my favorite characters watching TV scenes.
This?
Yeah, Dark Knight has it. That one shot.
Ooh.
I like a good, intense character watching TV.
Yeah. It's a funny subgenre, Greg, but it is good.
I would do a supercut.
Know what I love? I love characters watching TV. Because I too watch TV.
That intense, like watching the news absorb me.
It's like watching reactions. This is what we're doing, watching TV.
I'm very sorry.
I think this needs to be in the top 5 conversation.
It's not the end. You reach out with both hands and bust and segment. They lead you into the green veldt where you can run forever.
I like how they talk about it at first like a religious belief.
And then we visit.
My father thought so. I am not my father. I'll kill him myself.
And now he's immediately on the other side.
He was so good at that accent. I thought that was his real accent when I first watched this movie.
Yeah.
Stay home. You only make this worse for all of us. Please.
Are you saying you'll arrest me?
No.
They did know how to make, like, they just keep bringing in more conflict, but they also know how to make each conflict more personal, you know?
This movie couldn't exist without the other 10, and yet it's its own independent bit of art.
It's a really good movie.
Because, again, it justifies everyone's decisions.
Should tell you stay out of it.
Good, and you're also wearing,
This is how we dress when we're incognito.
Yeah, but you wear red because you're
Yeah.
I just want to make sure we consider all our options. The people that shoot at you usually wind up shooting at me.
And that's why you're going to carry the shield.
Tips have been pouring in since that footage went public. Everybody thinks the Winter Soldier goes to their gym. Most of it's noise.
He does go to my gym,
I was going to say, that's true, but everyone thinks it.
Boss expects everything pretty much now.
That's really funny.
I taunt him. I'm like, that's cheating, man. You got a metal arm. You can't. It's up, dude.
He just walks by and goes, homecoming. He just says it one at a time. It's weird, but... It's Greg at the gym.
Yeah, go 1. Homecoming. Got you, bro. No, I'm spotting you, bro.
Freight car? Why are you saying freight car?
There's counting to 10, bro.
That's how heavy this is, bro. You're lifting a freight car, bro. This movie is so somber, and I'm so underslept and slap happy. I'm so sorry, audience. This movie's amazing. I'm just in a comedy mode.
It's all right. Keep us awake. What more do they want? We love it.
Yeah. Top 5.
Ich stelle das mal hier auf jeden Fall.
He could have been a huge star in the States, man. He did like Inglourious Bastards right before this, and they got here. He was so good in Inglourious Bastards, too.
He did this great German film in the early 2000s I love called The Educators, and I was so excited when he got cast, and I'm like, where is he? What's Daniel Brühl doing? He's real good. Getting prunes because they're good for memory and they help your brain.
Is that why you chose it?
Literally why it's in the film.
Like, you know that as a fun fact?
100%. Talk to Marcus McFeely about it.
I really don't know that many fun facts about this one, but I know them about, like, a lot of the other ones we watched.
This was my favorite for a long time, and it might come back to being that. But so when I interviewed them at Comic-Con a few years ago, I asked about the prunes. Because this, to me, is the X in the middle of the crossover between Tony and Cap. For me, this movie is, like, what a comic movie can be, and the prune thing I thought was just a little extra flavor.
It's so interesting because I don't really feel like Captain America Winter Soldier is that much about Winter Soldier.
But this one is.
And I've even heard people like criticize the movie for that. Yet this one is so much more like he's the central driving thing.
But without Winter Soldier, that movie doesn't happen.
Yeah, exactly.
But this one, it's like around the Winter Soldier.
Smells like Bucky.
James?
Heads up, Cap. German special forces approaching from the south.
Understood.
You could just sense him.
Do you know me? You're Steve. I read about you in a museum.
They've set the perimeter.
Oh, the tension again, the conflict's rising.
And you have plenty of reason to be.
Damn, you could still see lats and that. Just like the shape and the lats.
He's so big.
They're not planning on taking you alive. That's smart.
They're on the roof. I'm compromised.
Great build. Goddamn.
It always ends in a fight.
5 seconds.
You pulled me from the river. Why?
I don't know.
3 seconds.
Yes, you do.
Because you love me. Teamwork.
Sick.
Stop!
You're gonna kill someone.
I'm not gonna kill anyone.
Terminator. I love how they immediately go into teamwork mode.
Yep. I mean, offensively and defensively.
I love that when he shoots at his hand.
Oh, it's so cool.
I didn't kill him, though.
He is in a coma. Oh, goddamn. That's slight camera. Woo!
He just broke his leg. He's not dead.
Not dead.
That guy's just hanging. He's not dead.
Woo! That swelling of the old school music.
Stunt work is incredible in these movies. My God.
Like, these are human beings.
Come on.
Oh my God. So cool little swing reveal. Love these little
stairway
machinations.
is so good. I forgot how good this sequence was.
That guy with the head is not dead.
Every single surface used all of their abilities, and each of them fight specifically their way.
I like how they take these little moments for like Cap and Bucky to just like look at each other for a second, be like, "Come on, dude, you got this good." I love
Cut
the
it
shot.
out.
Love the shot. Never forgot that shot. Damn, there are shots here I've never forgotten. Like this upcoming one. Fuck yeah. Such a great movie. This is such a cool movie.
It really is, dude. I movie thought that Civil War is better than Winter Soldier once, and I don't know.
Yeah.
It might be for me.
It's more fun.
It's so full.
Who the hell's the other guy?
About to find out. Spider-Man's coming.
That was a fun little visual effect shot.
Sam, got him.
Cool.
Gotta really make sure that guy knows how to fly a helicopter.
Oof. So nimble. Ooh, so cat-like.
What a great way to introduce Black Panther.
And you also know, like, he will kill him if he catches him. You feel it all. And these three superhumans just running down the street.
Reveal.
And then you get the speed comparison because you
the
actually have something to compare it to. Yeah. But having the cars shows you, like, if they're running with each other, you won't notice.
That's great. They had them really running, too. Like that crazy treadmill thing they devised. I think they took inspiration from The Dark Knight in this one, too.
Yeah, I feel that.
Like certain locations, like where they chose to do certain types of fights. Incredible stunt work. Gotta give it up for them, man.
Yeah.
I love practicality.
Oh, that sound cue.
Sam, I can't shake this guy.
Right behind you.
X. Oh, yeah. Banger. Banger.
That's so good.
Crazy.
And to slow it down for us just long enough. Man.
I really hope Russo's got the same second unit.
Me too.
On Doomsday. Jesus. I'm not even using my metal arm. Hitching a ride.
Cat catches the bird.
I'm not killing anyone, though.
Oh.
I'm just going to create a traffic
Takes
jam.
off running.
That Black Panther suit's great.
It is.
Stand down now.
That's right, Rhodey. Rhodey exists in these movies.
Just to say those kind of lines.
Congratulations, Cap. You're a criminal.
He's like the ultimate government stooge. Like his role is like, I follow orders.
He just has the Iron Man suit, but without any of the edge.
Yeah, well, he's also like everyone's bitch. Like he gets told what to do, and he's like, I'm gonna do what I'm told.
Pinch of paprika. A pinch.
Is that paprikash?
I thought it might.
Without that Visions comic, I don't know if the character had ever gotten this popular. He's so interesting.
In my defense, I haven't actually ever eaten anything before, so.
He's so cute.
No one dislikes you, Wanda.
Thanks.
Oh, you're welcome. No, it's a involuntary response in their amygdala. They can't help but be afraid of
Are you?
you. My amygdala is synthetic, so.
I used to think of myself one way. After this, I am something else. That's not what everyone else sees.
There's so many good relationships in this film.
Do you know, I don't know what this is.
You will.
I know it's not of this world. It powered Loki's staff, gave you your abilities, but a mystery.
The way Marvel used to just have this giant tapestry they wove in and out of.
The more I do, the less it controls me. One day, I may even control it.
If Doomsday ties everything we've had the last two phases together by having writing like this.
I'm gonna go to the store.
Well, it's a lot.
I'll be back in.
A lot of work.
But if they do it,
Are you not letting me leave?
It is a question of safety.
I can protect myself.
Not yours.
Mm-hmm.
Until the Accords are on a more secure foundation.
And just like that, we slowly stop siding with Mr. Stark.
Yep.
Once it becomes about control.
I love how global this one feels too. It actually authentically feels like the world's a threat.
You know, a lot of that dialogue exchange that they had could read as just kind of stoic on the page or flat, but
Yeah.
it takes real actors to elevate that shit to make it truly emotionally intriguing.
Especially a character that's synthetic. That's a hard thing to wrap your brain around.
Your suit, vibranium?
My shield could sense it.
The Black Panther has been the protector of Wakanda for generations, from warrior to warrior. Now, because your friend murdered my father, I also wear the mantle of king. So I ask you, as both warrior and king.
That's all you need to know. All you need to know about Black Panther.
So good. He's so complicated, but in that sentence,
you don't need to. Yeah, you don't need to know much more.
because the character is so many things. He's like James Bond. He's a king. He's got superpowers. But in that little, that's all you need right now.
Yeah, it could be so easy to get into over-explanation territory. Oh, that's right. I forgot he was in this.
Sebastian Stan?
Same thing that ought to happen to you.
Oh yeah.
Psychological
The
evaluation.
Tolkien white guy.
Nicely done.
Thank you.
I better not look out the window and see anybody flying around in that.
They're more likely to play with the shield.
This is what making things worse looks like.
He's alive.
Obviously, you can quote me on that because I just said it. Anything else? Thank you, sir.
I think this is the one movie where Chris Evans got to have top billing over Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah. Called Captain America.
Yeah.
Technically, it's the government's property.
It's cold. Warmer than jail.
Also, him coming back for this one, that was the Willy Won't They after Iron Man 3 and then Age of Ultron. And now, like, to come back for something of this scale. I think that was one of the things Kevin Feige fought over was they didn't want to pay Downey Jr. to come back for Civil War. And he's like, that's no movie. Like, there was a big, around this time, conflict.
Hey, you want to see something cool? FDR signed the Lend-Lease bill with these in 1941. Provided support to the Allies when they needed it most.
Some would say it brought our country closer to war.
Amazing.
You wouldn't be here.
He hated that. I love how it, like, fucking backfired.
He tried to do the exact, nope.
Is that what you call it?
Oh, he's so good.
I didn't see it.
Oh.
We are kind of, well, not kind of.
Pregnant?
No, definitely not. We're taking a break. It's nobody's fault.
I'm so sorry, Tony. I didn't know.
A few years ago, I almost lost her, so I...
God, I love this movie.
It might be my number one, man.
Just like how much he like after all that is like, I'm so sorry. Like, you know he means it too.
Yeah.
I don't want to lose her.
And all of this he means from the bottom of his heart, and it's through films and films.
In her defense, I'm a handful.
Every scene.
Your mom always made it work.
And a great way to just remind about the parents too. Don't want to drop that.
Oh, really? You
note.
two knew each other?
Yeah.
You never mentioned that. Only 1,000 times. God, I hated you.
For not even knowing
to
you.
make things difficult. I know, because you're a very polite person.
Sometimes I wish I could.
I think I was actually blinded by the charm of Downey the first time I watched this to where I stand on it.
Yeah.
It worked.
Sometimes I want to punch you in your perfect teeth, but I don't want to see you gone. We need you, Cap. So far, nothing's happened that can't be undone. If you sign, we can make the last 24 hours legit. Barnes gets transferred to an American psych center instead of a Wakanda prison.
Played exactly what he would prefer.
I'm not saying it's impossible, but there would have to be safeguards.
Sure.
So one time he feels like a suit.
Wanda, what about Wanda?
She's fine. She's confined to the compound currently. Vision's keeping her company.
Oh, God.
And almost had him.
Said the wrong.
I'm doing what has to be done to stave off something worse.
You keep telling yourself that. Hate to break up the set.
So you said that the motivation in the comic is so much like the public doesn't trust us anymore.
They couldn't do that because no one has secret identities.
We need to get the public to love us again. Like so much is like rooted in that.
Yeah.
And it's not really But they make it more about like the whole point of freedom and choice, and stuff. I love it. Yeah, it's actually a really solid adaptation.
It's more rooted in individuals because the comic, everyone has masks, and in Marvel Comics, no one has a mask.
It's very like extreme too, and like it's like so many. I love it though. I love the comic. I think
It's just a different thing.
Yeah, but it's so
The
like,
art's
it's kind
gorgeous.
of metal. you know?
The unmasking of Spider-Man is one of my favorite moments.
It is kind of ironic. They did that's the unmasking, and then this is the introduction.
I can't help you if you don't talk to me, James. My name is Bucky.
And I like the subtlety of Daniel Bruhl's voice, and we haven't heard it enough to call out that that's him.
Yeah.
Like, if you know, but you don't necessarily get alerted.
Like the style of shooting and cutting and intercutting as well really does feel like some Nolan inspirations in this one.
Color grading, too. Like, some of the color choices I feel like are very like that Nolan intensity.
As many eyes as we can.
Not these scenes, ironically, but the outdoor stuff.
Got 7 billion people looking for the Winter Soldier. We didn't bomb the UN. It turns a lot of heads.
But that doesn't guarantee that whoever framed him would get him. It guarantees that we would.
Oh? Also does such good espionage stuff like that. Like, I forgot that twist until him.
Tell me, Bucky. I don't want to talk about it.
D23 Disney reference.
Don't worry. We only have to talk about one.
He's just so good at doing all this shit.
Never good when it beeps. Woo!
All right, come on, guys. Get me eyes on Barnes. Get me a source on that outage.
Sub-level 5, East Wing.
I love how T'Challa's just on his phone.
Why don't we discuss your home? Certainly not
Black Panther's trending. Shit.
It's crazy how popular character.
People like the cat. Oh, and that screaming song.
Żawoy.
Stop.
Zinadziet.
Stop.
Razviet.
This one really gets you to feel sorry for him, man.
Yeah, the pain in this performance is incredible.
Why don't you cover your ears, dude? You didn't cover his ears. Would it have worked if he was just like, la, 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 la?
I imagine it's his subconscious that activates, so if he hears it at all, right? Because that's like a trigger. So, but I don't know. I've never been brainwashed.
I've tried it at the gym with him so many times.
And yet,
it doesn't work.
Have you asked him if you go la, la, la?
Yeah. How well do you know your character?
Are you method? Will you murder?
I'm a good guy.
Immediately knows. Get up.
Who are you? What do you want?
I love this. He's so close, but he can't. But because of the lighting, he can't see the blue in his eyes. Wow, where'd they place that camera for him to fall like that? That was interesting.
Hey.
You would have had better luck if you didn't say hey.
Just announce that you saw the suspicious activity.
Sure did. It's a lovely Tom Ford 3-piece 2 button. I'm an active duty non-combatant.
Follow me.
Oh God, Tony, what happened to you?
I know, dude, it's so funny watching it this time.
That kind of hurts.
Yeah.
I'm following orders.
I see how I'm in row to your friends now.
Whoa.
Every time.
That's crazy. He's got super soldier strength. Why are they fighting him? What does Sharon Carter think she's going to do with her roundhouse kicks?
Cool. I love how Chadwick Boseman fights. Like, the cat stuff doesn't feel overdone. Chadwick and his stunt double.
There's something Taekwondo-esque about his fighting style. It feels very martial artist.
You can watch this movie from so many different people's perspective and understand their arc. Like, it's got 2 leads and then like 10 supporting characters with journeys.
Oh, this was arm day.
Yeah, dude. Swole. There it is. The move that inspired 1,000 curls.
Yeah.
Get it, Evans.
Yeah, look at them arms. Look at them
Beast.
arms.
Look at the lats, like you were saying earlier, behind him.
Yeah.
Smart. Woo-hoo-hoo. Great stunt. I mean, special effects, but that was beautiful.
He's so desperate to get him. Now he'd pull him out of the water. I get it. I get things.
Try, okay?
This reveal's so heartbreaking, too.
Loss begetting loss.
Ebenfalls vermisst werden die Avengers Captain Steve Rogers und Sam Wilson.
Sucks. He knows he can fly first class, but he chooses not to be incognito. The
More
biggest
subtle.
sacrifice.
You know,
the biggest
really,
sacrifice.
Well, it's international, too.
Ugh.
More than 3 hours with civilians?
I've flown first class since I was a baby.
Yep.
Me flying first class.
After this video, you can watch Greg fly first class. I also love that the post-credit scene is this scene, but with different shots. Like, I think it's different takes.
It's only like 10 seconds of this scene, too.
The bombing, the setup, the doctor did all that just to get 10 minutes. I need you to do better than I don't.
He wanted to know about Siberia, where I was kept. He wanted to know exactly where.
Why would he need to know that?
Because I'm not the only Winter Soldier.
Woo! Love the score with that scream.
This is such an excellent, like, detail because you think this whole flashback is like, oh, it's all about what's in the briefcase. But it's not.
It's actually so much worse.
It's such a good reveal, man.
I worked at iPic movie theaters when this came out, and I remember watching certain scenes over and over again because anytime I could, I'd sneak in. And so much of this is so much better than I remember. I've seen this movie in pieces hundreds of times.
I don't remember these scenes. I don't recall getting any of this.
There's like B, C, and D plots. There's so much happening. That's the guy who kept his looks. The guy we waterboarded earlier.
Yeah, no shit.
Subtle. This movie lets you actually like show and not tell. When's the 87 North stunt, guys?
He had his own Black Widow training program.
Damn.
Damn, look what happens when you follow orders.
Said he wanted to see an empire fall.
With these guys, he could do it. They speak 30 languages. They can take a whole country down in one night. You never see them come back.
Big idea, Civil War.
I love how they fucking, like, just set you up for all this, and it's not even disappointing when you find out what the real thing is.
Yeah, it's so big and then it's bigger for us.
Yeah.
Our personal is more important than the action.
I know a guy.
A little guy.
I don't suppose you have any idea where they are.
We will. GSG9's got the border.
I think it's my favorite Marvel movie. I think it's my favorite one.
It's clear you can't be objective. I'm putting special ops on this.
What happens when the shooting starts? What, do you kill Steve Rogers?
All due respect, you're not going to solve this with boys and bullets, Russ. You got to let us bring them in.
And how would that end any differently than last time?
Because this time, I won't be wearing loafers and a silk shirt. 72 hours. Guaranteed.
36 hours. Barnes. Wilson.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, having to comply.
You all right?
Always. Be great if we had a Hulk right about now. Any shot?
You really think he'd be on our side?
Yeah, with Ross.
Where's yours?
Downstairs. Where's yours?
Yes.
And this is when they get a really toy with levity for the next like 20 minutes.
Because it's been so heavy.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
He's going to be such a baby.
I know, I've seen so many interviews with him this past 2 weeks.
I've been watching a lot of Tom Holland as a grown man.
How was school today? Okay. This is crazy car parked outside.
Child!
Oh, Mr. Parker.
Crazy car parts.
What are you doing here?
It's about time we met. You been getting my emails, right?
Regarding the...
You didn't even tell me about the grant.
The September Foundation.
Right.
Yeah. Remember when you applied?
Yeah.
I approved. So now we're in business.
Anyway, what did I apply for?
That's what I'm here to hash out.
Okay. Hash it out. Okay. Is this grant, like, got money involved or whatever?
It's pretty well funded.
Wow.
Look who you're talking to. Can I have 5 minutes with him?
Sure.
A lot of that felt. I feel like this is our audition chemistry read, all these scenes.
As walnut date loaves go, that wasn't bad.
I definitely did not apply for your grant.
Nuh-uh. Me first. Okay. Quick question of the rhetorical variety. That's you, right?
Yes.
Look at you go. Wow, nice catch. 3,000 pounds, 40 miles an hour. It's not easy.
So smart to let him exist in this world already.
Oh, that's all on YouTube, though, right? I mean, that's where you found it. Because you know that's all fake. It's all done on the computer.
Yeah. Oh, you mean like those UFOs over Phoenix?
Exactly.
Assesses the room in 30 seconds.
You're the Spider-Ling. Crime-fighting spider. You're Spider-Boy?
Spider-Man.
Oh, no, was he or not?
Spider-Man. Delivery is so good.
Who else knows? Anybody?
Nobody.
Not even your unusually attractive aunt?
No.
You know what I think is really cool? This webbing. Tensile strength.
Slow little reveals.
I was...
Lordy. Can you even see in these?
Yes, I can't. Look, I can't.
You're in dire need of an upgrade. Systemic, top to bottom. 100-point restoration. That's why I'm here.
Wow, his intro into this was so solid.
I don't know. What's your MO? What gets you out of that twin bed in the morning?
Because...
It's the most important character in Marvel, and they do it in the MCU right. It's different, but the MCU take.
Audie, I'm taking a shift.
Don't tell Aunt May.
All right, Spider-Man. Give me this.
Okay. I love how tired Tony is.
Just
this movie.
Exasperated at all times.
What is it?
Stay here, please.
But yeah, man, it's fucking great.
Guess I should have not.
You know what made me happy? I remember seeing this in the theaters, and people cheered when he showed up.
It's such a pop, dude. He retired.
I was like, people are happy to see Hawkeye. That makes me happy.
I'm such a fan of Renner's take. It's a great outfit, too.
You should not be here.
Really?
Please consider the consequences of your actions.
Okay, they're considered.
Yes.
It's this way.
I've caused enough problems.
Look, you want to mope? You can go to high school. You want to make amends? You get off.
And it fucking works because of Age of Ultron and their connection.
Yeah.
It's so great. It's like
That's
justified.
the only time he had. And also, you get each of their perspectives again.
Thank you.
I gotta learn to stretch.
Clint, you can't overpower me.
I know I can't, but she can.
Vision.
But baby.
Power scaling in this is so good.
They will never stop being afraid of you.
I can't control their fear, only my own.
Nah, you gotta learn to control other people's fear. Send them straight to hell, where fear belongs.
Our satellites are running facial, biometric, and behavioral pattern scans.
This movie doesn't have a wasted scene.
They don't have time.
Every scene is so much happening.
As entertaining
I forgot we
as
met the
that.
Dormelage in here.
You really think you can find him?
Our resources are considerable.
And that line pays off so much more once we know the Dormelage are.
You know where they are.
I know someone who does.
Yeah.
Good, because this stuff tends to draw a crowd.
Can you move your seat up?
I owe you again.
Keeping a list.
The heirs to the shield.
You know, he kind of tried to kill me.
And that's when they were like, they should have a TV show.
Their chemistry's great.
People laughed.
That laugh made an entire show.
You gonna come looking?
I know.
Thank you, Sharon.
Thanks for sharing, Sharon.
She's the power broker.
This is when it starts, the power broken. He just likes this bloodline. He's drawn to it like a vampire. The Carter bloodline.
It was fated.
This is so subtle. Such a subtle like that.
It really works. Such a huge human in that car.
You know, I wouldn't have called if I had any other choice.
Hey, man, you're doing me a favor.
Besides, I already did.
I put a little coffee in them, but...
Let's pick the Paul Rudd from the airport.
What time zone is this?
Captain America.
It's an honor. I'm shaking your hand too long.
Captain America. I know you too. You're great.
Look, I want to say, I know you know a lot of super people. Look, what happened last time?
It was a great audition, but it'll...
Something about some psycho assassins?
We're outside the law on this one. So if you come with us, you're a wanted man.
Yeah, well, what else is new?
Got a chopper lined up.
Yeah, I do love it, man. Like they're on a mission to stop like Winter Soldiers.
Yeah, they have so much at stake, and they also protecting Bucky. Like it's so personal and big. But Downey and his belief in putting an armor around the world, and his personal stakes, and his guilt, man.
You're
Plus
interrupting
Black
a bigger
Panther,
mission.
plus Spider-Man. Holding off until the second half for Iron Man to enter, really?
Wow, it's so weird how you run into people at the airport. Don't you think that's weird?
That doctor, the psychiatrist, he's behind all of this.
I think that's weird.
Ross gave me 36 hours to bring you in. That was 24 hours ago.
You're after the wrong guy.
Your judgment is askew. Your old war buddy killed innocent people yesterday.
And there are 5 more super soldiers just like him. I can't let the doctor find him first, Tony. I can't.
Oh, what's about to happen? Do you really want to punch your way out of this one?
I still have chills.
All right, I've run out of patience. Under ruse!
Under ruse.
Nice job, kid.
Oh.
Wait, it's nothing, Mr. Stark. It's perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, we don't really need to start a conversation.
Big fan of Spider-Man.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
I like how they repurposed that line on the trailer.
Yeah.
A dragon named Clint rescuing Wanda from a place she doesn't even want to
But
leave.
damn, I wish this movie had better lighting. Just make it that much more.
Yeah.
Trying to keep you from tearing the Avengers apart. You're gonna turn Barnes over. You're gonna come with us now because it's us. We're a squad of JSOC guys with no compunction about being impolite.
No compunction. Great use of words.
The Quinjet's in Hangar 5, North Runway.
All right, Lang.
Yes.
Amazing. Ant-Man versus the Spider.
I believe this is yours, Captain America.
I believe this is yours, Captain. Yes, sir.
Hey, Mr. Stark, what should I do?
What we discussed, keep your distance, web them up.
Damn, he could handle that shield hit.
I won't ask a second time.
Yes.
I wouldn't stress about it.
He's used to hitting women.
No, that's the other Ant-Man.
You have a metal arm? That is awesome, dude.
Oh, God, he just ruined that shield.
So beautiful.
You tried, Rhodey. You tried being something. You tried being something.
You know, you got a moment.
First, that's an exaggeration. Second, I did it to protect you. Hey, Clint.
Hey, man. Well, I played 18, shot 18. Just can't seem to miss.
Well, first time for everything.
That was always the plan, to drop a bunch of people's cars and not pay for the property damage of these people's cars.
That's why he wants them to sign.
I don't know if you've been in a fight before, but there's usually not this much talk.
All right, sorry, my bad.
All right, sorry, my bad.
I'd love to keep this up, but I've only got one job here today, and I got to impress Mr. Stark, so I'm really sorry.
Couldn't have done that earlier.
I hate you.
Throw it at this. Oh, come on! Oh, man, I thought it was a water truck. Sorry.
He's the highlight of this fight.
There's such good levity to save for here.
That man's my favorite part of this whole fight, man. He's so good.
He's about to get even bigger.
I know you believe what you're doing is right, but for the collective good, you must surrender now.
I mean, yeah, Vision is good to have in here because he's got like a really big moral philosophy, so he won't overuse his power. So you don't have to. Otherwise, it'd be like Vision could just like take them all out.
Right.
Yeah.
Just like Iron Man not having the suit in the first half. Narratively, they've done a really good job building.
We fight. We hero shot this shit.
This is gonna end well.
This is trailer money right here, baby. Yeah, look at that. Look at that.
They're not stopping.
Neither are we.
Yeah,
It's crazy this is how we actually used to fight, like just charge at each other.
Amazing shot. Jesus, the machinations of this.
I didn't kill your father.
Then why did you run?
Because people accused him. And you were coming after him very aggressive.
Very, very aggressive.
And there were a lot of cops.
I get it, man.
That thing does not obey the laws of physics at all. He also said to go for your legs.
Well, don't just give that away. And then he goes right for his hands.
Got cocky.
The exact thing he was not supposed to do.
Quick, can you get him off me?
Buckled in?
Yeah.
Yes, straight from the comics.
I'm good, Arrow guy. That's so awesome.
Stark tell you anything else?
That you're wrong, you think you're right, it makes you dangerous.
Wow, really not much information.
Amazing Spider-Man number 33.
You got hard, kid. Where you from?
Queens?
Brooklyn.
What a great exchange. What a great exchange.
Oh, you're gonna have to take this into the shop. We don't talk a lot these days.
Deploying fire suppression system.
Uh-oh. Oh, boy.
You should have spoken, Ant-Man.
I'll take Vision, you get to the jet.
No, you get to the jet. The rest of us aren't getting out of here.
As much as I hate to admit it.
We're gonna win this one. Some of us might have to lose it.
This isn't the real fight, Steve.
All right, Sam. What's the play?
We need a diversion.
They are so overpowered. I mean, that's a really smart tactical move.
Don't come back for
He's gonna tear himself in half.
You sure about this, Scott?
I do it all the time. I mean, once.
Oh, this is such an amazing theater moment. Ones you just want something you don't forget.
Yes.
Holy shit!
I guess that's the signal.
Way to go, Tic Tac!
Give me back my roadie.
God, Rhodey, you are just not great in a lot of these movies.
Yeah.
He's done nothing cool in this fight.
Crazy.
Anybody on our side hiding any shocking and fantastic abilities?
I love how they have it moving slow and everything. All this is just going on in the background while they're having this little fight here.
It's a one-on-one.
We haven't met yet. I'm Clint.
I don't care.
That's rude, Your Highness. Not very diplomatic of you.
Nope.
That was cool, Rhodey. That was cool.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Give it to you there, Rhodey. Spider crawl.
Something just flew in me!
Doing it defensively, and then, yep.
Man, staging all this is a nightmare.
I cannot imagine this fight. It's been going for like half an hour.
You're not gonna stop.
She hasn't broken a sweat.
Go.
I love the reveal that he got through and how that was handled.
I don't know. I didn't carbon date him. He's on the young side.
You know that part? With all the snow play?
It's called Hoth, kid. Called AT-ATs, kid. Peter Tingle didn't go off.
Didn't work for him.
Does anyone have any orange slices?
Kid, you all right?
Hey! Whoa! Hey! I gotta get him
You're
back.
going home or I'll call Aunt May. You're done.
Mrs. Stark, wait. I'm not done. I'm not.
I'm done. That's my final scene in the movie. Man.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
I said I'd help you find him, not catch him. There's a difference.
Damn, just so many of the scenes with her just look. The thing is, in Winter Soldier is so like gritty and real with her.
Oh, I definitely think the lighting is better in Winter Soldier, but this feels like a Winter Soldier level plot.
There's just
like layers plus every character getting an arc.
Yeah, I think some of the fight has like a little too clean. Like,
there's definitely some frames that are shot in a booth later. Like that scene was not shot there that day.
Yeah.
Bandit on my 6.
That grit of sweat and stuff. Not Rhodey, the one guy who we could maybe do this with.
Turn him into a glider.
Rhodey?
Tony flying dead stick.
That'd be terrifying.
It's a great shot though, man. Shit.
Oh, it's so powerful.
Heartbeat detected. Emergency medical is on its way.
Damn, I love that touch.
Woo, what a sequence.
Great sequence. Amazing sequence. Cared more about Rhodey because I care what it does to Iron Man. Not so much what is happening to Rhodey.
Yeah.
Ihr Frühstück ist hier. Darf ich mich reinlassen?
Weirdly, I think I liked him most in his scenes in Secret Invasion. That okay show.
Oh, those 2 first episodes of Secret Invasion, his writing was great. Because he was still a government guy, but he had stuff to say.
Herr Müller?
That's not how you use the bath.
No, they did it wrong. You know, every comment now is going to be like, these guys defended Secret Invasion.
Goddamn right we do.
That's right. Those 2 episodes.
Fucking Drax arm, baby.
Best CGI in Marvel.
Or whatever that
I don't even remember.
character's
Her name, Draxarm.
Whatever it is, I'll deal with it. I don't know if I'm worth all this, Steve.
Is that just about you, honey? Honey?
Honey.
What you did all those years, it wasn't you.
He's with us to the end of the line.
I know.
But you don't feel that.
But I did it.
You got the memories.
Is your body being driven? Oof.
This is when they switched him out with the Skrulls.
Right here in this MRI machine.
That's when it all began. They fought an endgame, the Skruldy.
I became distracted. I didn't think that was possible. Neither did I.
You were better when you were just my AI robot. You know that, man.
Sentient shit getting in the way.
The doctors say shattered L4 through S1.
Steve's not gonna stop. If you don't either, Rhodey's gonna be the best case scenario.
Boy, it must be hard to shake the double agent thing.
That was mean.
Are you incapable of letting go of your ego for one goddamn second?
Hit all those wounds, you 2.
T'Challa told Ross what you did, so they're coming for you.
I'm not the one that needs to watch their back.
Watch your back. Watch your back. Tuna, no crust.
That's right, bitch.
Remember the Buster.
What am I looking at Friday?
Priority upload from Berlin, please.
We should watch all those leading to Fast 11.
That's the road. That's the road.
I'm down for that road next year. 25th anniversary, August 25th.
The task force called for a psychiatrist as soon as Barnes was captured.
That sounds exhausting.
UN dispatched Dr.
I've done it in a day. It was a 30-hour day.
What do I look like?
Oh, look, it's another cameo from Russo.
Oh, really?
I think it was Anthony.
The fake doctor is actually Colonel Helmut Zemo. Zemo ran Echo Scorpion, a Sokovian covert kill squad.
So what happened to the real Broussard?
He was found dead in a Berlin hotel room.
See? It's a Russo.
Also found a
Oh,
weak
wow.
prosthesis approximating
He's in all these
the appearance
movies.
of one James Buchanan Barnes.
The plot thickens.
Just when you think he's on our side.
This movie feels like a graphic novel, and even its pacing, those little like lulls of story that come back into the action, and like you can feel some of the last page cliffhanger moments. Like it's paced really fun for a comic movie.
Oh, yeah.
Like a graphic novel, specifically with chapters and everything.
I'm really hungry.
Me too. Forgot to eat today with all the work and trailer and chaos. I've just been drinking.
I mean, if we want these reactions to be real, Coy,
gotta own.
We'd be eating.
Yeah. Oh, it's almost Henry Cavill.
It looks just like him. It does. It is the exact thing.
We can show people what we eat, which is just high protein, low calorie, minimum joy.
I ate a lot of popcorn like Tom Cruise.
Ooh, did you do it like Tom Cruise?
Yeah.
Did you chuck it in your own face? The raft.
Let's reboot the satellites. Let's start facial scanning for this Zemo guy.
Look, you're not in one of these cells.
You didn't wreck an airport. A lot of people's cars were ruined. A lot of people are going to have to work overtime now. When they first saw
the consequences.
When you first
where
saw
she
Wanda,
was.
she was in a jail cell.
Now
a
she's
prisoner.
back.
Now she's back because of him. Because of his shit.
So's Paul Rudd.
The futurist is here. He knows what's best for you.
Give me a break, Barton.
I had no idea they'd put you here. Come on.
Yeah, but not some Supermax floating ocean pokey. You know?
Yeah.
Criminals, Downey.
In the comic, they put them in the negative zone.
I think that's the word you're looking for.
It's very intense.
It didn't used to mean me or Sam or Wanda.
Change the law. Move that finish line.
You read it, you broke it. All right, you're all grown up, you got a wife and kids.
You gotta watch your back with this guy. There's a chance he's gonna break it.
Hank Pym always said you never can trust a Stark.
Who are you?
Come on, man.
Star-Lord.
How's the roads?
Well, I fly him to Columbia Medical tomorrow, so. What do you need? They feed you yet?
You're the good cop now?
I'm just the guy who needs to know where Steve went.
Well, you better go get a bad cop.
We got about 30 seconds before they realize it's not their equipment.
What'd you do? Get it back up.
Because that is the fellow who's supposed to interrogate Barnes. Clearly, I made a mistake. He's about to need all the help he can get. We don't know each other very well. You don't have to.
All right.
Smart to periodically or systematically go through them.
30 seconds, we're almost up.
Look, I'll tell you, but you have to go alone and as a friend.
Easy.
I'd forgotten how he talked to each of them.
I'm going back to the compound instead, but you can call me anytime. I'll put you on hold. I'd like to watch the line blink.
Oh, man. How heartbreaking. He was going right back to being Iron Man. You know, busting out the cameras, going against the authority.
Realizing what he's done.
That's so sad. But then the trailer shows you that they're gonna fight at one point, and
So
we
we
haven't
got
gotten
it.
that
We haven't
scene
gotten there yet.
I'll say I remember watching it in the theaters and like being but they're gonna fight, right? Because we saw that in the trailer.
And they do the trailer
haven't done the
comic moment.
They haven't done the comic cover yet. When they do reveal why, they're like,
you still feel all of
shit,
it.
that's
a way bigger reason.
There's no going back down.
Yeah.
And to have that, well, hold on, I like this scene. Shut up, Coy. Everyone shut up.
Just can't stop.
What was her name again?
Dolores.
She's gotta be 100 years old right now. So are we, pal.
Great exchange.
Little human moments.
But when he was saying, like, I know that it wasn't me who did it, but I did it, it's exactly how Tony feels about him.
Yeah.
So well written. Cap can't keep his eyes off him.
Love
you so much, Bucky.
So glad you're back, Bucky.
Ready?
Cool. Frame it like a villain shot.
At ease, soldier. I'm not currently after you. Ross has no idea I'm here. I'd like to keep it that way. It's good to see you, Tony. You too, kid. Manchurian candidate.
I don't know what Manchurian candidate is.
It feels like a very specific reference 50 years after I was frozen.
I'm saying that. Bucky doesn't know.
No, I'm saying.
Yeah. We're saying that. I just want people.
You want them to know.
No. I posted
Sarcasm?
a video
I
about
don't know.
Odyssey and poop, and everyone's like, yeah, they said in the movie.
Oh my
I'm like,
God,
I'm
those
like,
comments are hilarious, dude.
Idiots.
You just gotta stop acknowledging people, and then the internet's great.
They're not all idiots.
Just most.
I could have said it a little different, I suppose.
Or you could just assume people have more than 2 brain cells rubbed together.
Nah, some of them like us. Some of them are cool, what I explain.
Those single shots.
Wow, to be frozen, just taken out like
I'm
that.
grateful to them, though. They brought you here. The Soviets built this chamber to withstand the launch blast of UR-100 rocket.
Betting I could beat that.
Well, I'm sure you could, Mr. Stark. But then you'd never know why you came.
You killed innocent people.
I love how separate the third act is, and the stakes are still so tense and high.
I've thought about nothing else for over a year. I studied you. But now that you're standing here, I just realized there's a bit of green in the blue of your eyes.
They were face to face earlier in the movie, but I think because of the lighting, he couldn't see this.
Sokovia was a failed state long before you blew it to hell. I'm here because I made a promise.
You lost someone.
I lost everyone. An empire toppled by its enemies can rise again, but one which crumbles from within,
civil war,
that's dead. Forever.
What is this?
What is this?
Characters watching TV.
It's such a good thing.
Damn, just when he forgave him. Just when he let it all go. Oh, what a brutal way to go.
Ugh. Just to be trapped there watching, knowing it's coming.
This is so horrifying,
It
dude.
really is.
That's just like so personal in the way he
That's
does
so-
it.
Yeah.
It's not like a gunshot wound.
Did you know?
Oh, and he doesn't.
I didn't know it was him. I just did you know? Yes.
Man, oh, the writing's so good.
Damn.
It just gets more personal. It doesn't stop. Bless you.
Man, the tension. And then when it breaks. I don't know if I've ever seen a more justified superhero fight.
Oh, goddamn.
Hydra had control of his mind. Move! It wasn't him!
Oh, blind rage. It's like that rage causes focus.
I like the way he's fighting Steve, too. He's not trying to not... Like, he's not hurting him, but he's also just systemic.
I feel so sorry for Tony in this fight.
I know. He just lost it. I saw how lost everything.
And he just keeps getting his ass handed back to him.
It really feels like a suit in this sequence.
Targeting system's knackered, boss.
Am I balling it?
Badass, though, man. Man, Zemo got exactly what he wanted.
From within.
This isn't gonna change what happened. I don't care. He killed my mom.
Interesting emphasis on specifically her there. She was so innocent.
Yeah.
Damn. It's like cool, but so tragic.
It's so sad. Every punch hurts. The humanity is so much stronger than the comic run, which is also great, but this hurts differently. The glow of his chest on him, oof.
And they get the sliced arm moment, too.
There it is.
And they managed to get the comic art in a way that fits the moment.
Totally narratively appropriate.
I'm going to bed.
And then this reveal, oof.
I love you.
I almost killed the wrong man.
Hardly an innocent one.
This is all you wanted. To see them rip each other apart.
I love the deleting showing him he knows it's the last time, because this is how he intended to end.
My son was excited. He could see the Iron Man from the car window. I told my wife, don't worry, we're miles from harm. And the dust cleared, and the screaming stopped.
Just where you see some ashes flying. Looks like ashes flying with snowfall.
My father, still holding my wife and son in his arms. And the Avengers, they went home. I knew I couldn't kill them if I could get them to kill each other. I'm sorry about your father. He seemed a good man. with a dutiful son.
That's not good enough.
Don't let it consume me. Justice will come soon enough.
Tell that to the dead.
The living are not done with you yet.
Such a good line, especially from him.
You can't beat him hand to hand.
Damn, I like how Friday's worried.
Scanning.
Oof. Oh, his helmet came off a little bit there.
Let's kick
God, just like whoever's losing, it doesn't make you feel like a winner.
It just hurts so much.
Feel bad for everyone.
He's my friend. So was I.
Final warning.
I could do this all day.
They managed to make every time he says that work.
So
cool. I love like the sinister music. Oh, I kill him. Damn, what a tragic shot.
That used offensively through his heart and the symbolism.
And his dad built that shield.
Yeah. Ugh.
It's like so crazy.
That shield doesn't belong to you. You don't deserve it. My father made that shield.
It's ruined anyway. There's cat scratches on it. Crazy they can have such like an impactful moment, like such great drama. And like 20 minutes ago, there was a really fun airport fight with Spider-Man in it.
And they're also having this fight in spangly and yellow and red outfits designed after sports cars.
Pretty sweet.
Raise your voice, Zap. You step out of line, you deal with me. Spend all that time, all that effort, to see it fail. Did it?
Like that look at them. What are we really? Are we still the Avengers?
It's just a first pass. Yeah. Give me some feedback. Cup holder?
You may want to think about some AC down there. 138 combat missions. Every one of them could have been my last, but I flew 'em. And yeah, this sucks. This is a bad beat, but it hasn't changed my mind, I don't think.
I don't think. Good roadie scene.
Yeah, I was like, that's why you cast Don Cheadle. Deliver that moment.
Are you Tony Stank?
Yes, this is Tony Stank.
I'm glad you're back at the compound. I don't like the idea of you rattling around a mansion by yourself.
How'd you know this?
That's why I sent it there, so when you're ready, that's where it'd be.
I've been on my own since I was 18. I never really fit in anywhere, even in the army.
Didn't even know your parents?
My faith's in people, I guess. Individuals. I'm happy to say that for the most part, they haven't let me down, which is why I can't let them down either.
So I killed all these guards.
I know I hurt you, Tony. By not telling you about your parents, I was sparing you. I can see now that I was really sparing myself, and I'm sorry.
Self-awareness right there.
Hopefully one day you can understand. I wish we agreed on the Accords. I really do. I know you're doing what you believe in.
It's how straightforward and accountable he is. We need more communicators like that.
Yeah, even with the phone, just so you could reach out. Like I'm...
Priority call from Secretary Ross. There's been a breach at the Raft prison.
Yeah, put him through.
Pan off that joke.
We have a problem.
Please hold.
No, don't.
Likes to watch it, Blake.
So no matter what, I promise you, if you need us, if you need me, I'll be there.
And he's back.
Oh, that's my favorite one. I'm calling it. I think it's because I think it's so interesting to watch at different points in life. I think it does a lot of what I love about Winter Soldier, but it also does what I love about Guardians, which is juggle so many different characters and give them all different arcs. I think it uses the MCU's strengths the best because it's telling giant characters in ways that you're invested in different elements of them. I mean, if I'm thinking of why I love filmmaking, I think Winter Soldier might be a better film because of the quality of, like we talked about, the actual production. But if I think of why it's like an MCU accomplishment, is it's doing all the strengths of the MCU plus all the strengths of other than technical stiff. Like, I think it's my number one. I mean, it's just, it asks so many questions. It makes you look at both sides. It makes you question how you think about these archetypal characters and heroes who you believe in. It introduces Black Panther and Spider-Man while having a great villain in Zemo. Like, this does a lot right. I think it's my number one.
Ant-Man's funny.
And Ant-Man's so funny. That was crazy good. Like, I'm giddy. And I was tired as fuck. Like, to come out of a funk into, like...
That's awesome, man.
Thoughts? Not on my thoughts, and your thoughts.
With your thoughts, hey, Spiderweb around Tom Holland.
There's all the people, the crossbones, all their shadows are shielded.
Well, now I feel pressure to rank it, but I don't have a rank. I don't know where I'd rank it yet.
Okay.
I do think it's a pretty amazing film, though.
Mhm,
I think it's pretty
mhm.
near perfect. There's nothing really I would change about it.
Yeah.
Other than some of the lighting choices.
I mean,
Sure about this? I can't trust my own mind. So until they figure out how to get this stuff out of my head, I think going back under is the best thing for everybody.
The White Wolf.
man, the presence, Chadwick Boseman.
Thank you for this.
He does command a room. Like, he doesn't give a shit about the MCU. You know? It's like, I don't care that you're the Avengers. You don't intimidate me.
If I can help one of them find peace,
You know, if they find out he's here, they'll come for him.
let them drive.
Even the post-credit scene's great.
Switchy, man. God.
What's some guy's name?
Steve.
With the overbite?
No, you don't know him. He's from Brooklyn. Ouch.
Hope you got a few good licks in.
Yeah, I got quite a few in, actually. Friend was huge. Like, huge.
Okay, tough guy.
Puppy May. Hey, can you shut the door?
Sweet sauce, baby. Sweet sauce.
Two fun post-credit scenes, and a Spider-Man will return.
Hell yeah.
Had a great time. Real happy.
Yeah, there's nothing really I would change about it. I think it has all the fun. My thoughts are very slow today.
You know what?
I'm just telling you.
You kept up when it mattered
Which
for
was
2.5
during the
hours.
movie.
And now that stimuli and loud music and shiny objects are over, Greg has to one more shoot. So we're going to wrap early today, and I'm going to say all the words. We did not get to this. Did we have Civil War?
We probably have questions.
Oh, I was about to say we didn't get questions yet, but I'd have been a liar.
I don't know, man.
We're about to find out if I'm a liar.
I'll get thoughts from answering these questions.
Oh, we do have them.
Yeah.
Bring the sauce.
Only a few. Let's go. Hello, gents. Top 5 for a reason, arguably top 2. I could write an essay about how good this movie is. This is Ethan T, by the way. Just amazing. I personally like the way Spider-Man is more in this movie, directed by the Russos compared to the first solo movie. Would love to know what you gents think. I do like the way Spider-Man is portrayed in here. He doesn't feel like the Spider-Man that I'm most into when I read Spider-Man, but he does feel like certain versions of Spider-Man that I feel like out of a cartoon that I really enjoy. And surprisingly, he works within. They knew that they couldn't insert him into the more dramatic tonal parts. They had to fit a certain flavor. And I really like his rendition. Like, he feels so New Yorker.
Yeah.
And I really love how New Yorker he does feel. Even the way he talks about Brooklyn and Queens, like, it's just so, it feels lived in. It's a very lived in performance.
Something interesting happened in the late 90s, early 2000s, where this is a long answer. Better Man's Ethan T, where basically the combination of Ultimate Spider-Man success, the feeling that Spider-Man had to be young because so many classic stories were that way, and a lot of the writers aged out of writing him, and so new writers came in, and I think that's when they identified with Spider-Man, and the conflict of the Mary Jane story of, like, if he's happy and in love, a lot of people just didn't write him that way, so they always tried to find a conflict. So around, in my opinion, the combination of Ultimate Spider-Man and One More Day, they started really infantilizing Spider-Man. They made him very young. I think the Ultimate Spider-Man run is not infantilizing. It's just having a young take on the character. But I think there's like an arrested development of main core Spider-Man that happens every 5 years or so, and he just is a stuck character. I think that's why we don't have as many classic villains from the last few decades. I think that once One More Day happened, Spider-Man got very stuck. So I think this film is an interesting response to that, wherein they wanted to use a young Spider-Man. They had already kind of done some of the adaptation of Ultimate Spider-Man, so this feels like a combination of Ultimate and Spectacular, the animated series, while really leaning into the 80% MCU take. There's 20%, you know, some Spider-Man flavors and stuff, but they're anchoring him to a certain time because I feel like the comics in this time didn't know what to do with Spider-Man. So what I'm hoping is much like, Brand New Day, which has hits and misses, the comic series was trying trying to bring back that Silver Age fun, that Bronze Age fun. It was trying to like reinvent Spider-Man for a new generation, find new access points, make him weekly instead of monthly, and really just do all this, which is why I think the movie is going to be a take that is not an adaptation of Brand New Day, because it's far too long, but an adaptation of the concept of Brand New Day, of refreshing him. This, to me, was when Spider-Man may have been most stagnant, and it is a reflection of why the MCU take was so important, but it's still very difficult to remove 60 years of loving Spider-Man from that. So I, as a Spider-Man fan, have to watch this and go, I love this MCU take on Spider-Man, and that's what's going to be so interesting about the 3 movies that we get to next, is because I don't even, when I met Tom Holland, I was like, this kid is so Spider-Man coded, but in my head, Andrew Garfield's the closest, and not even Andrew Garfield has really found the Spider-Man of the comics, because I see him as a married man that's got Mary Jane, and I see him as like the 90s take or the 80s take. That's how I see Spider-Man, and a lot of people don't in the modern age. So this, to me, was a great compromise, a great take on Spider-Man, but it's very different than the comics in my mind.
Pop gibberish.
Greg's tired, and I'm making up for it.
I've accepted my state. Hey, Greg Co. Albandro. What? That's hilarious.
It's almost like Gregory. Still one of my favorite Gregisms is saying his own name with a weird accent like it was our name.
Sorry. Nope. Don't like that. This is one of my top MCU movies next to Endgame and No Way Home. You know what it is? Okay, I think I know what I want to finally say. It introduces 2 of my favorite MCU characters with Black Panther and Spider-Man in the most Spider-Man-ese way. If you custody battle for Spider-Man rights were not going on during this time, how would you have introduced Spider-Man or T'Challa into the story? Or maybe you would have pushed T'Challa's into a Fantastic Four movie. P.S. Coy, I drew the X-Men print, but never got printed nor sent it to you. My bad. Probably remember the comment in the old live stream and Joe Will's art.
Oh, I do recognize your name, man. That name.
Well, how would you introduce?
I would have had Spider-Man as a teen in any film introduction and gotten in real time. I would have let him age. So I would have let him find Mary Jane and have those things. I would have done like a film in high school, maybe 2, but then get into college and then lose Gwen Stacy and then have Mary Jane and all of them and have that change Mary Jane and his relationship. Because Mary Jane grows up in the comics because of the death of Gwen. She's like a party girl that grows up. So her arc actually informs Spider-Man's arc a lot. So I would have done something similar with this first film, but I would have gone differently after this. And I think Black Panther is such a great asset to this film. I think where characters are introduced is not as important as understanding the core of who the characters are. So I'm not bothered by the fact that it was here. And I'm not bothered by the fact that you have to do the MCU take on Spider-Man because, like you said, licensing rights. But where it goes next, I do think it has to stay kind of MCU-ized because of licensing. They had to include a certain amount of characters and all those things. If that wasn't the case, I would like Spider-Man to be independent. I see Spider-Man as a solo hero that occasionally teams up with the Avengers, not as an Avenger.
That's fair. That's fair. I like what you have to say.
I can tell it's not because of exhaustion. It's because respect for my wisdom. No rebuttal.
No,
not from exhaustion.
Why would I rebuttal?
Doesn't need to.
That is perfect.
Yep, that's it. That's what he's saying.
There's nothing for me to alley-oop.
Silence speaks volumes.
I'm just saying, man, that's like a perfect sentiment.
Boom.
I mean, are you really interested in what I gotta say? That was perfect. Come on now. Come on now.
He's got to do another shoot after this.
I'm in this office for 10 straight days. I'm very tired. It really hit me today. I was supposed to sleep.
I've got Comic-Con in 2 days, dude. I don't know how I'm going to do that.
I know, man.
How am I going to go down there and do panels?
You're going to be great. You're great. You're great when you're tired. Even when you're tired, you're great.
Appreciate it.
I'm not. I get like no I get no thoughts.
I get manic, and then I apologize for my tone. Like today.
I either get no thoughts or I get racing thoughts I can't communicate.
It's either a roadblock or an empty road.
It's literally one of the two. It's really difficult for me. Stephanie Horton. Hey there, Koyegery. I find the theme at the heart of this movie to be male relationships. Gay. This is particularly acute for Cap, as even his closest 3 male relationships are on display. Bucky, Sam, Tony. If you were to ask, I can do this. If you were asked to write an academic essay on this theme, what would it be and why? Are there two you would compare, Sam Cap, Bucky Cap, or perhaps would you bring in how these relationships were more or less developed on screen than in the comics?
We talked about this a lot. I actually think that the relationships are developed a little bit more in the films to this storyline. Civil War as a comic book storyline was a great action event spectacle with high stakes, but different stakes. But it was a lot more about the people's belief in heroes, which made it a big story, which didn't allow for as much personal. Yeah, Spider-Man unmasked himself, and that caused a lot of personal stuff, but you had to read all the Spider-Man comics to catch a lot of that. If you just read Civil War, you would have felt the impact, but not as deep. This is so deep because I think the connection to actors' eyes and their relationship to those other actors' work, like when you see Downey Jr., you've got all those years of association. So I think there's a lot to the power of a film adaptation that allows for the personal moments to hit a little different, not better, not worse, but deeper at times emotionally. And I would write about Tony and Steve because of my own personal juxtaposition of I identify as Tony more, but I could not be more different about his beliefs with the Accords. I think that once he goes through the trauma of the Avengers come down, the PTSD he develops, the choices he makes are out of desperation, and I could see myself doing the same because I identify with Tony a lot. But I personally, as someone that hasn't gone through those, definitely judge his choices, and I would not sign. I would not agree. I don't think it's right. I'm completely on the other side of this. So it's really interesting for me. I'd write about basically my connection to Tony, how I think like him, how I feel. I'm not a genius futurist, but like how I think. I'm defensive. I'm sarcastic. I'm. People think I'm arrogant because I am, and I also want certain people to understand that I know I'm better than them. That's not Steve at all. But Steve has all the beliefs I have towards this one subject. So I think it's really cool to watch a movie where you completely agree with someone that you don't know if you'd agree with them on other things about. I think that's a really well-written story.
I'm not surprised you hear I got thoughts.
Oh, shit! Woke him up.
Because I'm woke. Just give me like a little stretch.
Thawed it out.
I would say that this movie is my thoughts of the theme is this movie is all about guilt. Everyone is ruled by their guilt in here and the choices of what they will do with that guilt. You know, Tony is ruled by every decision here is like, okay, he feels guilty about everything that's happening with Pepper. He feels guilty about what happened with that kid that's being dictated and is leading down this path. Steve felt guilty about what happened to Tony's parents, and he's trying to rescue the guy who killed them, and so he withholds that information, and that becomes consequential to their dynamic. Fucking T'Challa feels guilt over what happened to his dad, and that's forming into vengeance. Zemo feels guilt about what happened to his family, and that's forming into vengeance. Wanda is withholding herself back because she feels guilt about what happened in, was it Nigeria? I forget where it was. That was Lagos. I forget. I don't know. If it's not,
it's LA
California,
something
I don't
OS.
know.
I just forget what that one
I think it's
middle.
Lagos. I think it's Lagos.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a key letter in that.
And of course, Bucky is very much ruled by his own guilt here. If there was a little change that I would probably enhance just a tiny bit, it would be that lighten up, man. I would say that in the final fight when Iron Man is going after him, that if there was a moment where Bucky kind of felt he deserved it a little bit, I feel like that would be in tune with Bucky's character. Especially
the
after
end
the
touches on that, like him putting himself back away. It feels like he's at least acknowledging a feeling of that.
No, absolutely, undoubtedly. I feel like it didn't really come through in the fight with him, which is like, I don't know, like, even if it was like a second or something like that. So to me, that's what this whole dynamic of our main characters that we focus on, and where the paths of where every road goes down tends to be primarily from that. And those who aren't ridden by guilt have a much clearer way of thinking about things in this movie, that the paths lie ahead. And even Vision is learning to contend with like his decision making as he's trying to assess through logic and feeling bad about what's happening to a lot of these people. Are feeling bad about shit. That's what makes the conflict so interesting, is because they all feel so bad about things they've done or things they witnessed, things they were secondhand accustomed to, and they're just trying to do right by atone. This is their version of trying to atone. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's what this movie is really about at the end of the day. It's there.
All right.
And about men.
Men
and their guilt. And they fucking punch it because they feel guilty. No, I'm done.
You good?
Yeah, I'm out of thoughts.
All right. Is that a thoughts?
I lost gas. McCoy Ona. Hey, I follow you around with the Doomsday commentaries. Oh, do you now?
Thank you.
Giving your reactions. That's right. Fucking fighting you now.
We don't know why.
As a man.
He's excited you're watching.
I feel guilty of not having answers earlier. Give your reaction to the events of Age of Ultron. If you're an Avenger, would you have signed?
Fuck no.
No. That sounds awful. The whole point is to not live by the rules, bitch.
What's so interesting to me is that I think at points I would have signed. I think that's what's fun about this movie is I think that when you get a group of people together, they have an agenda is the opening argument from Steve's perspective. Like the idea that a group of people is going to find their own interests and manipulate the greater concept. And I think that when I was young, I believed in systems. I used to believe in structure and people having our best interest at heart. I think persons can have your best interest at heart. I don't think people have your best interest at heart anymore. So I think that there was a time, and even on a rewatch, I think a couple years after the movie came out, I think that roadie scene swayed me. And I remember identifying as someone that, like, again, Tony Stark, his brain makes more sense to me than Steve's does. And I remember thinking, like, man, I feel differently about the Accords. And now I'm so far in the other direction. I love that writing because I would never sign. And I think we don't look at what we're doing in our real life that reflects some of these things with our own privacy and exposure and letting people control us. Like, Meta glasses are cops, man. Like, we're literally putting things on our face to supervise and film, and we don't have control of that footage. We don't have control of who gets that footage. But the Ring cameras get hacked all the time, and they're owned by the government, where they can just be like, oh, we have access to this footage that proves you were somewhere. We're adding surveillance to our faces and homes. This shit's real, and I'm so against that shit. So ACAB includes Meta glasses and Ring cameras and signing the Accords.
I drive an electric vehicle that has cameras.
You're part of the
knows
problem.
where I am all the time.
They're filming me. And people know when I'm walking by your car, and I don't like people know where I am, Greg. I don't like that shit.
I don't know what to tell you, buddy.
That's what I'm saying. We live in a surveillance state. Fuck the man.
Yeah.
Don't sign shit. Don't sign shit.
I'm okay.
Would you have signed? Greg's like, I get better gas mileage if I sign.
If it made my life a little easier. Depends. What benefits does it come with? Do they pay me? You know,
you would get paid because you'd be part of the government payroll. You'd be like a hero for hire.
It'd be nice to be paid for this stuff. I'm just saying.
10 shoot days in a row.
It'd be nice.
I got hella shoot days in a row, but I still wouldn't sign.
It's not even the shooting that's exhausting.
It's all the rest.
That's all the computer work
for
at
4 hours
2 in the morning.
Editing for 4 hours broke me today. It's insane how much editing just rots you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jaden! This is the best McHugh movie by a mile in my opinion. It just captures everything I love about the MCU. Zemo's my favorite villain of all the MCU. He's just insane, and the speech at the end is just a cherry on top of his character. I'm curious if y'all agree with my statements. If not, what's y'all's favorite MCU movie? Are y'all Team Cap or Team Iron Man? I think we made that clear. What I love is the movie really does make you go back and forth agreeing and disagreeing with them both. I think you understand a point, and maybe where you're at in your life, you can choose a side depending on that. I think I was hesitant to put this at the top because I'm like, you know, it just feels like a cheap answer to be like one of them Avengers crossover movies. It's like cooler to say Captain America, Winter Soldier, or Iron Man because
I like the ones that are filmed, and as a cinephile, Robert
you know
Redford,
what I mean?
I get it.
It's like a cooler answer.
Yeah.
To not say it, but as I started off with this commentary of this movie, they did an Avengers movie, but they made a real film out of it. The only time it feels like
personal,
the only time it feels like Avengers event movie is really the airport fight,
and that's got emotion, personal stakes.
It does. It is the one that has personal stakes, yet it feels the least like heavy or intense.
Yeah,
it does feel like really fun.
But so many of the rest
they make sure to end it off on a heavy note. But that fight itself and the intro really does be like, oh, now it feels like an Avengers movie in this moment. But it is a consequential thing. But the whole movie itself is like, it manages to do the intensity, it manages to do the fun, and it is like, I love that it becomes more conflict. Like a lot of movies, by the time you get to the third act, are like, okay, we're in the finale, big action scene now, and I love that this movie took a path where they're like, it's starts off personal, it's just gonna get more personal, and then when you're in the fucking last 20 minutes, it's even gonna get more personal. And really, it's easy to write it off as like, it's the big ensemble Avengers movie. Really, it's like one of the
personal.
It's more personal than Winter Soldier. You know, and like Winter Soldier is a great like
It's
taut,
very
tense
personal.
film.
Winter Soldier is as well.
It is, and I like Cap doesn't really have. The Cap gets the accountability arc. Like, should have told Tony. He doesn't really have like as definitive of a character arc here. He is more of like a strong, steady, consistent vehicle that helps everything go along here. So I would argue that one of the things is it does start to feel less like it's a Captain America's movie as in the last half of this film, I would say. It was right around the time they get to the parking lot with Ant-Man where I'm like, oh yeah, I kind of forgot about Captain America for a little bit. It started feeling more like this is Iron Man's movie, which is not really like a huge problem for me. If it was just called Civil War, I would not have that thought. You know what I mean? But because it's called Captain America Civil War, I'm thinking that. So if it was just called Civil War, it wouldn't have that thought. So on its film its own, it might be the best one. And I think that's why the MCU has had a struggle, because they were in that phase where so
much is so good that it's hard to
that you would come by like every year or something. Is that the best one? Is like every other year there's a new one. Maybe that's the best one.
That's why our thumbnails are so hyperbolic.
Yeah, because like, oh my god, they just kept getting better and better, and made me like kind of more conflicted with myself as time went on. You know, so yeah, I don't know. It's definitely like top 3 though. That's for sure. Last one, Jay Rushton. Like, which side would Miss Marvel and Shang-Chi and Thunderbolts would be on then? I think Thunderbolts would not. I mean, they're signed up.
Yeah, they're working for the government.
Yeah, they're working for the government. They chose safety. Shang-Chi, I think Shang-Chi would be Team Cap. Miss Marvel, I think, would be Team Cap.
Yeah, I definitely think Miss Marvel's Team Cap. And I think Shang-Chi might be torn, because I think that there's an element of structure and order that he believes in, and that might make him feel conflicted, but I think he'd eventually land on Team Cap.
Yeah. I mean, he was running away from all that structure and order, though.
No, I think his infrastructure is that, so he'd feel torn, but eventually land, as he does, on the side of independence.
But yeah, amazing movie. It's definitely got to be top 3. I got to like look at the whole list of them all again.
I've been ranking them in my letterbox, so I don't forget. I'm putting a little rewatch list together.
God, I should do that. Thanks.
Yeah, that way I can like peruse and go like, oh, where do I slot it now, freshly?
I think when we talk about ranking the Avengers movies, they should put this movie in here, because
it's quietly the 5th Avengers.
It really is an Avengers movie.
Or the 3rd, but yeah. They could have called it Marvel Civil War. I think just calling it Civil War might have been confusing. But like Marvel Civil War.
Could have called Avengers Civil War. Could have been called anything. Yeah.
Sure.
I think just Civil. I mean, you can't just call it Civil War.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's a strong, that's already happened.
That's a loaded thing. Anyway, thanks guys for being on this road to Doomsday journey. This is a great movie.
Loving them.
See you guys.